Here are Grandpa's 42 emergency heating hacks to survive winter power outage. Mylar blanket tent liner. When power went out in winter, Grandpa lined sleeping tents or room canopies with Mylar emergency blankets to trap heat fast. Hang the reflective side, facing inward using tape or string, sealing edges to block drafts. Mylar reflects body heat back instead of letting it escape. This creates a warm pocket around beds or seating areas, making one small space livable during outages. It uses no fuel, works immediately, and pairs well with blankets and layered clothing. Terracotta pot, candle heater. Did you know that terracotta has been used for centuries to absorb and slowly release heat from fire and flame? During outages, candles placed beneath stacked terracotta pots warm the clay, which then radiated heat outward. To set it up, place a candle on a fireproof base. Invert a pot over it with airflow gaps and never leave unattended. It won't heat a house, but it adds noticeable warmth to a small room safely. Water-filled jug wall. Clear plastic jugs filled with water were lined along cold walls to store and release heat slowly. Place the jugs where sunlight or stove warmth hits during the day. According to Grandpa, the water absorbed heat while the room was warm and gave it back slowly at night. Water holds heat far better than air, helping stabilize temperature swings. This passive heat buffer made cold rooms more tolerable during long outages without using extra fuel. Doorway insulation foam inserts. Foam insulation boards were cut to fit tightly inside unused doorways during power outages. Press the foam into the frame or tape it in place to block air movement completely. This stopped warm air from escaping into unheated rooms and prevented cold drafts from pushing in. Creating smaller heated zones, conserved body heat and fuel. In emergencies, closing off unused spaces mattered more than warming the whole house, and a foam inserts worked quickly and effectively. Insulated cooler for feet. A small insulated cooler turned into a foot warmer during winter outages. Place hot water bottles or warmed bricks inside, then rest feet on top or inside with socks on. The insulation traps heat for hours without electricity. This trick focused warmth where it mattered most. Keeping feet warm helps the whole body feel warmer. It's a simple comfort solution using items most homes already have when heat sources are limited. Chemical hand warmer core placement. Chemical hand warmers work best when placed near major blood flow, not waved around in the air. Slip them into coat pockets near the wrists, tuck one at the lower back, or place them near the inner thighs when seated. Heat spreads through circulation, warming the whole body faster. During winter power outages, using warmers this way conserved supplies and extended comfort. Smart placement mattered more than using more packets. Aluminum foil, wall radiator reflector. Aluminum foil placed behind radiators or heaters reflects heat back into the room instead of letting it soak into exterior walls. Tape foil, shiny side facing outward onto cardboard, then position it behind the heat source. This simple reflector boosts radiant warmth noticeably. In emergencies, it helped small heaters work harder without extra energy. Redirecting heat already being produced made rooms warmer faster, especially in older homes with poor insulation. Rigid foam board window plugs. Grandpa would cut rigid foam insulation boards to fit snugly inside window frames during cold snaps. The boards were pressed in place at night and removed during the day for light. Foam blocks drafts completely and adds strong insulation fast. In power outages, this turned windows into solid barriers against heat loss. It was quicker than plastic sheeting and far more effective, helping one heated room stay livable for hours longer. Hot bucket steam tent. A sturdy bucket filled with very hot water was placed in a small enclosed space, then covered loosely with blankets to trap steam and warmth. Sitting nearby, warmed hands, feet, and air quickly. This method added humidity and heat without flame. Care was taken to avoid spills or burns. During outages, steam tents provided short bursts of comfort, especially for children or older adults feeling chilled. Plumbing drain procedure. When power outages threatened freezing pipes, draining plumbing prevented costly damage. Turn off the main water valve first. Open all faucets starting from the highest point, then the lowest to let water fully drain. Flush toilets to empty tanks. Leave taps open until temperatures rise. This procedure removed standing water that could freeze and burst pipes. It was a critical winter step when heat failed and repairs weren't an option. Bubble wrap window glazing. Bubble wrap pressed against window glass creates a fast, temporary insulation layer during winter outages. Lightly mist the glass with water, then smooth the bubble wrap bubble side against the pane so it sticks. The trapped air pockets slow heat loss while still letting in daylight. This method was popular because it used cheap, available material and installed in minutes. It won't look pretty, but it noticeably reduces drafts and keeps heated rooms warmer without tools, tape, or electricity. Propane catalytic heater. Propane catalytic heaters produce steady, radiant heat without an open flame, making them useful during power outages. Set the heater on a stable, fireproof surface and ensure proper ventilation by cracking a window slightly. These heaters work by catalyzing propane gas to create heat safely and efficiently. They warm people and objects directly rather than air alone. Used carefully, they provided reliable emergency warmth in cold homes when furnaces and electric heaters failed. Hot water bottle cluster system. Instead of using one bottle, families grouped several hot water bottles together to create a larger heat source. Fill bottles with hot water. Seal tightly and wrap them in towels. Place the cluster at the foot of the bed or beside seating areas. Multiple bottles release warmth slowly over hours. This concentrated heat zone kept bodies warm through the coldest nights, conserving fuel and reducing the need to reheat water constantly during extended winter outages. Oven door residual fan circulation. After baking, the oven held a large amount of stored heat. Once cooking finished, families opened the oven door slightly and used a small battery fan to push warm air into the room. This captured heat that would otherwise dissipate uselessly. The method worked best in kitchens with doors closed to contain warmth. During outages, redirecting residual oven heat helped warm living spaces without extra fuel or extended oven use. Chimney balloon or plug. An unused fireplace chimney acts like an open window in winter. A chimney balloon or tight-fitting plug blocks airflow and prevents warm air from escaping upward. To use, insert the inflatable balloon or foam plug into the flue and seal it snugly. This stopped cold drafts and heat loss immediately. During power outages, sealing unused chimneys helped homes retain precious warmth and made small heat sources far more effective. Wool sock mittens. When gloves were scarce, thick wool socks doubled as emergency mittens. Slip hands inside clean socks, fold excess fabric over the fingers, and secure at the wrist with string or rubber bands. Wool traps heat even when slightly damp and blocks cold air well. During winter power outages, keeping hands warm helped maintain circulation and overall body warmth. This quick swap used items already in drawers and worked especially well indoors or while sleeping. Reverse ceiling fan. Many ceiling fans include a reverse switch that changes blade direction. Flip the switch so the fan runs clockwise at a low speed. This pulls cold air up and gently pushes warm air pooled near the ceiling back down into the room. During outages where generator or battery power was available, this simple adjustment redistributed heat without creating a breeze. It made wood stoves and space heaters far more effective in keeping rooms evenly warm. Portable power station heating pad. A battery-powered station paired with a low-watt heating pad created localized warmth without running a whole heater. Plug the pad in, place it on a chair seat, lap or lower back, and cover with a blanket to trap heat. Focused warmth reduced overall cold stress and extended battery life. During emergencies, warming the body directly required far less power than heating air, making this setup practical for long winter outages. Insulated pipe wrapping. Exposed pipes lose heat quickly and freeze fast during outages. Wrap them with foam insulation sleeves, towels, or even layered clothing secured with tape or twine. Focus on pipes near exterior walls, basements, and crawl spaces. Insulation slows heat loss and buys valuable time before freezing occurs. In winter emergencies, protecting plumbing prevented costly damage and kept water systems usable once heat returned. Sofa cushion fort or shelter. Families sometimes built small shelters using sofa cushions, blankets, and chairs to trap body heat. Arrange cushions upright to form walls, then drape blankets over the top to create a tight enclosure. Sit or sleep inside with shared body warmth and extra layers. This reduced the space needing heating and blocked drafts effectively. During long outages, cushion shelters made cold living rooms far more tolerable without fuel or electricity. Dry bath towel chest layer. A thick, dry bath towel laid across the chest adds surprising warmth during cold nights or outages. Fold the towel lengthwise, place it over the upper torso, then cover with blankets or a coat. This helps trap heat near the lungs and heart where warmth matters most. The towel also blocks drafts sneaking in around collars. It's a simple layering trick using household linens to boost insulation without adding bulk or needing any heat source. Heated rock or brick bed radiators. According to Grandpa, a warm brick could heat a bed better than thin blankets alone. Place a brick or smooth stone near a stove until warm, not scorching. Wrap it tightly in cloth, then set it near the feet or sides of the bed. The mass releases heat slowly for hours. This steady warmth reduced nighttime chills and helped fires burn out safely while sleepers stayed comfortable. Tin can alcohol heater. A small emergency heater can be made using a metal can and alcohol fuel. Punch a few small holes near the rim of the can. Add alcohol-soaked material inside and light carefully on a fireproof surface. The flame stays contained and produces steady heat. This setup warms hands or small spaces, not rooms. Use only with ventilation and caution. It was a last resort heat source when nothing else was available. Water barrel thermal storage. Did you know that water can store over 4 times more heat than air? During winter outages, barrels or jugs filled with water were placed near stoves or sunny windows to absorb warmth. At night, the stored heat slowly released back into the room. This helped stabilize temperature swings without fuel. Even a few containers made a difference, acting like passive heaters that worked quietly as long as heat was available earlier. Attic hatch insulation seal. An unsealed attic hatch lets warm air escape fast. Cut rigid foam or layered cardboard to fit snugly over the opening. Seal edges with cloth or weather stripping to block airflow. Place weight on top if needed. This creates an airtight barrier that keeps heat from rising into unused space. During outages, sealing the attic helped retain warmth in living areas and reduce the strain on limited heat sources. Isolate central furnace ductwork. When power goes out, central furnace ducts become highways for heat loss. Close all floor and wall registers, then block them tightly with foam board, folded towels, or taped cardboard. Focus on rooms you are not using. This keeps warm air from sinking into cold duct lines and disappearing into the basement. By isolating the ductwork, body heat and any supplemental warmth stay concentrated where people are sheltering, making a single room far easier to keep livable during winter outages. Hay bale or straw perimeter skirt. Bales of hay or tightly packed straw were stacked around the base of homes to block wind and insulate crawl spaces. The skirt reduced cold airflow beneath floors, which is where much heat was lost. Stack bales snugly against foundation walls, then cover with tarps to keep them dry. This created a temporary insulation barrier that dramatically reduced drafts. It was especially effective for raised homes, cabins, or mobile structures exposed to winter winds. Sleeping bag, pre-warming. Before crawling into bed, sleeping bags were pre-warmed to hold heat longer. Place the bag near a stove, wrap a hot water bottle inside, or lay a warmed brick near the foot for several minutes. Remove the heat source before sleeping. Pre-warming reduced the shock of cold fabric and trapped heat immediately. This small step made sleeping bags far more effective overnight, conserving body warmth and improving rest during cold power outages. Soapstone heater. Soapstone was valued because it absorbs heat slowly and releases it for hours. A stove or heater made from soapstone warmed gradually, then continued radiating long after the fire faded. Grandpa said that once soapstone got hot, it worked all night without needing constant fuel. That steady release kept rooms from cooling too fast. In emergencies, this thermal mass reduced temperature swings and made limited firewood last longer, providing dependable warmth when constant tending wasn't possible. Insulated foam. Sleeping pad barrier. Foam sleeping pads weren't just for camping. They were placed beneath mattresses, sleeping bags, or seating areas to block cold rising from floors. The foam created an effective thermal break, preventing heat from being sucked downward. Pads were also leaned against walls to reduce radiant cold. This insulation trick used lightweight gear to create warmth where people rested. During outages, separating the body from cold surfaces made a noticeable difference in comfort and heat retention. Full face and head balaclava. Covering the head and face is one of the fastest ways to stay warm during a winter outage. Slip on a full balaclava so it seals around the neck, cheeks, and scalp, then layer a hat over it if needed. The head loses heat quickly, especially while sleeping. By trapping warmth close to the skin, the balaclava helps the whole body stay warmer longer. This simple garment often feels like turning the temperature up several degrees without using any energy. Kerosene radiant heater. A kerosene radiant heater provides strong directional warmth without electricity. Place it on a level, fireproof surface in a well-ventilated room, then light according to manufacturer instructions. These heaters warm people and objects directly instead of just the air. Keep clearance from walls and never leave unattended. During outages, radiant heaters allowed families to heat one safe zone rather than an entire house, conserving fuel while maintaining reliable warmth where it mattered most. Thermal curtain rod. Grandpa said that a thermal curtain rod holds heavy curtains tightly against walls, sealing gaps where heat escapes. Install the rod wider and higher than the window so fabric overlaps the frame completely. Thick curtains then trap warm air inside and block cold glass. This setup works especially well at night. During winter outages, sealing windows reduced drafts dramatically and helped small heat sources work more effectively. It is a quiet upgrade that pays off immediately in comfort. Candle wax fuel extender. Leftover candle wax was melted and reused to extend fuel supplies. Collect wax stubs. Melt them slowly in a tin set inside hot water, then pour over rolled cardboard or cloth wicks. Once cooled, these wax bundles burned longer than plain candles. They provided steady light and mild heat during outages. Reusing wax stretched limited resources and reduced waste, turning scraps into dependable emergency fuel when stores were closed and resupply uncertain. Plastic sheeting room partition. Plastic sheeting was used to divide large rooms into smaller heated zones. Hang the plastic from door frames or ceilings using tape, string, or tacks. Then seal edges as tightly as possible. This blocks airflow and traps warmth in one area. During power outages, shrinking the living space made body heat, candles, or small heaters far more effective. It is fast to install, inexpensive, and one of the quickest ways to improve winter comfort indoors. South-facing solar heat trap. Rooms with south-facing windows can collect surprising warmth even in winter outages. During daylight, open curtains fully and let sunlight hit dark furniture, floors, or water-filled containers placed near the glass. These surfaces absorb heat gradually. Before sunset, close curtains tightly to trap the stored warmth inside. This routine turns free sunlight into usable heat and reduces how quickly rooms cool at night, helping living spaces feel steadier and less biting after dark. Thermal mass furniture barrier. Heavy furniture was often pushed against exterior walls to slow heat loss. Bookcases packed with books, dressers full of clothes, or cabinets of supplies absorbed cold before it reached the room. Position pieces flush to the wall with minimal gaps. The dense mass acted as a buffer, reducing drafts and radiant chill. This quiet rearrangement didn't add heat, but it noticeably delayed cooling, making limited warmth linger longer where people actually sat and slept. Generator-powered oil-filled heater. Oil-filled heaters work efficiently with generators because they heat slowly and release warmth steadily. Plug one into a properly rated generator outlet and use it in a single, closed room. The internal oil holds heat even after the unit cycles off, reducing power spikes and fuel use. Rather than chasing whole house warmth, this method creates a reliable comfort zone that stays warm without draining the generator faster than necessary. Rubber boot wool liner system. Cold feet drain body heat quickly, especially during outages. Wearing thick wool liners inside rubber boots creates an effective insulation system. The rubber blocks wind and moisture, while the wool traps warm air close to the skin. This combination stays effective even in damp conditions. Keeping feet warm helps maintain circulation and energy, making long indoor hours or brief trips outside far more manageable without relying on additional heat sources. Duct tape sealant. When drafts appeared unexpectedly, Grandpa reached for duct tape as a fast fix. He pressed it firmly over window seams, door gaps, and baseboard cracks to stop airflow. The seal wasn't permanent, but it worked immediately, blocking even small leaks, reduced cold air intrusion, and kept warmth from escaping. In emergency conditions, this quick sealing step often made the difference between a room feeling tolerable or relentlessly cold. Appliance body heat sink cover. Did you know that large appliances can quietly pull warmth out of a room during winter outages? Refrigerators, washers, and metal cabinets act like heat sinks. To slow this loss, cover appliance sides with thick blankets or towels, leaving vents clear. The fabric reduces radiant heat transfer into cold metal. This simple step keeps more warmth circulating where people are. In emergencies, limiting unnecessary heat absorption helped small rooms stay comfortable longer without adding fuel. Small cooler hot bottle incubator. A small insulated cooler can hold heat for hours when used as a hot bottle incubator. Fill several bottles with hot water, seal tightly, and place them inside the cooler. Close the lid and open only when needed. The insulation traps warmth, releasing it slowly over time. This setup provided steady hand or foot warming through the night. It's a controlled, reusable heat source that conserves effort and minimizes reheating during long winter outages.